Okay na.
Sir Rudy, first question, para lang po sa kalaman ng publiko, ano po ang meron ngayon ng Ihsan? At ano po ang halaga nito para po sa ilang para sa mga Muslim, para sa mga non-Muslim Filipinos?
Good afternoon. Today, the National Commission for Muslim Filipinos is launching the NCMF Ihsan Micro Credit program, or in short, NIM. This program is to address the poverty alleviation of many Filipinos that have resulted from the COVID pandemic, and as the response of the NCMF to the economic recovery program of the President.
So, sir, pwede niyo pong ipaliwanag, sino po yung pwede makinabang dito?
We will be, the micro-lending program of NCMF, or NIM, will be starting with the street vendors, mostly those Marawi evacuees from the 2017 siege. But we will be eventually expanding the program to include all those in poverty, especially yung mga disregarded na street vendors.
Sir, hindi lang po ba ito for non-sectarian, Muslim?
Opo, we are only starting with the Muslim community, but eventually we will expand the program to include all Filipinos that are below poverty level.
May number po ba tayo, sir? May targeted number po ba tayo ng mga gagawin na miyembro o po pwedeng sumali?
Dito naman, we will be starting with 3,000 beneficiaries. And we have already identified yung mga communities that they are located, no? Mostly dito sa Metro Manila. But as soon as we get more resources, we will be moving towards the provinces also. At saka we will be expanding the coverage, hindi lang Muslim but for everybody.
So magkano po yung amount na po pwede nilang ma-loan o mag-ram dito po sa program na ito?
The starting amount is 15 to 25,000. But later on, as we get more donors and as we get the program rolling out, we will be extending up to 50,000.
Magkano po interest ito, sir?
This is Islamic, so it will not be charging interest, no? Ang ano namin dito, we will explain it in the presentation that we will only recover yung administrative expenses plus contingency for bad loans. So in case mayroong mga pumapalta, meron pa rin ano.
Sir, yung sistema ng pagbabayad po, may taon po ba kung ilang taon?
Ito po, ang ginagawa namin, it will be paluwagan, no? We will be organizing families into groups. Tapos yung groups, you will be, one of them will be able to borrow. So, iikot po yung credit among the groups, no? Depende sa performance nila, sa pagbayad, dun sa attendance sa meeting, no? So, makikita natin how they are doing, then we will give more support. Pero, paluwagan muna tayo. We will be starting with that.
May supporting mula sa bangko, sir? Anong bangko po?
The NCMF will be putting up seed money for the lending. And we have some foreign guests also. And I hope that they will support the program para at least lalaki yung base natin.
So may fund po na manggagaling din po sa National Commission ng Muslim Filipinos?
Yung seed money po, seed money.
How much po itong
10 million muna from the office.
Sir,
paano naman yung mga outlet natin gusto nyo hindi pa alam kung paano maging part of this credit? Paano sila makakakunik sa inyo?
Actually, we are doing ngayon yung identification ng mga beneficiaries. So we are going to the communities, tinitingnan kung lalo na itong mga street vendors. Kasi makikita mo sila sa mga sidewalk, sa overpass, sa underpass, sa mga palengke, ganyan, no? So we are going grassroots, ground level tayo. Paano natin?
Kumbaga sir, kayo mag-a-approach sa kanila instead na sila yung lalapit sa inyo. Tama po?
Opo. And we will be organizing them sa into groups. At saka, siyempre, kailangan natin sila turuan ng credit discipline. Hindi po ito dole out, hindi ito ayuda. Ito para magkaroon sila ng konting kapital, madagdagan yung mga paninda nila, yung mga
So may mga kababayan din tayo, mga kadyaw, kung pwede po ba sila mag-avail dito? Kasi sila po yung talagang madalas na makikita natin sa mga highways.
Opo, pwede po sila mag-avail kung sila mga vendors. Kasi yung mga iba, hindi naman tayo pwede magbigay ng ayuda. Hindi po ito ayuda. Ano ito, micro-lending. No? Kung sila may mga binibenta-benta, pwede natin tulungan.
Ano po yung mga requirements na hahanapin natin na kinakailangan nilang ipakita para maging kumbaga parang i-accept po sila dito po sa microcredit program po natin?
Opo, ang unang-una po, magme-member sila sa group, no? Tapos, yung namang mga nasa isang lokasyon, magkakakilala yan So, hindi ka basta pwede, gusto kong umutang, ganyan. Sumama ka muna sa grupo. Tapos yung grupo, yun ang mag-i-endorse na ito, pwedeng pautangan ito. Na kasi ito, member ng group namin. So, magkakaroon po yan ng organization, magkakaroon ng training, tapos weekly ang meeting ng grupo.
Sa mga gusto pong mag-avail, sir, saan po sila po pwedeng magtungo? May number po bang pwedeng tawagan para makapag-register o makasama sila sa grupo?
Opo, sa ngayon, ang natin nasa head office pa ng NCMF. Pero eventually, mag-organize tayo ng mga centers sa mga bawat lokasyon. Na pag na-organize na yung center sa lokasyon na yon, doon sila pwedeng pumunta, tapos mag-grupo-grupo sila na
Thank you so much.
Nag-individual loan na kami, pwede pa ba kami bumalik sa kagaya ng ASA or ng iba pang mga...
Opo, yung ASA actually, kumbaga naka-under na yan, lumalarga na
Opo.
So ito, paumpisa pa lang. No? Malaki na yung resources ng ASA.
Opo.
So we are already talking with them paano yung parang cooperation
Yes, sir.
between itong Ihsan Microcredit program ng NCMF at saka sila sa ASA.
Sir, yung sinasabi niyo pong as a group, ilan naman po pwedeng i-member?
Yung grupo, it can be anywhere from 5 to 10.
5 to 10.
Oo, basta manageable sila.
Ito po ba ay may kinakailangan pang mga requirements or barangay clearance lang?
Sa umpisa, baka kailangan talaga meron yan.
Meron.
Pero makikita mo naman sila dyan na nakapwesto-pwesto.
Opo.
So, identified talaga yung mga prospect na beneficiaries na later on, part ng Ihsan Microcredit program, i-assist sila para makaahon sila from informal economy masama sa mainstream. So kailangan nila ng mga barangay, mayor's permit, o kaya hawker's permit. So tutulungan natin sila eventually.
So sir, same lang din yung procedure na meron credit investigation?
Oo. Doon tayo kasi yan ang una nating huwag malusaw yung pinapautang natin. Kailangan talaga maturuan ng credit discipline.
Yung mamayang Pilipino, gayong hindi lang pala para ito para sa mga Muslim.
Opo, unang-una, ito po ay tugon ng National Commission on Muslim Filipinos under the leadership of Secretary GUILING MAMONDIONG sa panawagan na rin ng ating mahal na Pangulong Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. sa pagsugpo sa kahirapan na tinatamasa ng ating mga kababayan. Bilang tugon po sapagkat pagkaraan ng mahigit 2 taon sinalanta tayo ng pandemic, alam natin yung ating mga maliit na magnegosyo ay lugmok po sa kawalan ng income, sa kawalan ng pumumuhunan dahil wala silang income generating noong nakaraang 2 taon. So ang NCMF ay maglunsad ng Ihsan Micro Credit upang tugunan yung suporta na kinakailangan ng ating mga kababayan na nakahinto, ibang lugar at napakalaking tulong ito sapagkat bukod sa nandoon na yung mga existing na nagnegosyo, nandoon po talaga nawalan ng trabaho, nawalan ng pagkakitaan at nararamdaman natin ang tulong nito sapagkat yung iba pong nagpapahiram o yung nagpapaluwag sa ating mga kababayan ay may interest. Kadalasan, yung commonly, the usual activities, magpa 5-6, hindi na nakakatulong. Doon sila nanulugmok lalo kasi humingi na ang kanilang pagkakitaan. Maliban pa doon sa interest. Ang kagandahan po ng inulunsad na Ihsan Micro Credit ng NCMF ay interest free. Ito po ay Sharia compliant at ito po ay bilang tulong, bilang gabay at bayanihan po ito sa atin mga kababayan. At hindi lang po para sa mga Muslim, kung hindi para na rin po sa mga non-Muslim poor Filipinos. Ito po ang nagagawa ng NCMF sa kasalukuyan panawagan ng ating panahon.
So sir, yung sa ngayon po para sa mga Muslim muna, meron po ba tayong estimated time frame na para mapalawin?
Ang layunin po ni Secretary ay hindi lang para sa mga Muslim. From now on, although sinasabi natin, meron sila na-identified initially mga Muslim, pero welcome po ang mga hindi Muslim. As long as na-comply nila doon sa requirement. Meron po kasi ginagawang guidelines. Kahit naman Muslim, kung hindi siya angkop doon sa requirements na kailangan, hindi rin po siya makaka-avail. Ang ina-address po ng ating NCMF, ng ating komisyon, ay para sa poor Filipino families affected by the pandemic.
Sir, meron pong mga organization tulad sa Divisoria, sa Quiapo, sa Baclaran ng mga Muslim. Possible po ba sila ang maging priority dahil ito yung mga vendor na umuutang sa mga 5-6 para magkaroon lang ng puhunan?
Isa po sa mga target ng NCMF ay tulungan yung mga nagnenegosyo na naantala at nawalan ng puhunan dahil doon sa pag-antala gawa ng pandemic. Ang mga organisasyon ng mga nag-exist ng mga negosyo ay tinutulungan at makakaasa sila na hindi man mabigla at mapagbigyan lahat ay i-accommodate po yan ng NCMF.
Sila yung priority, sir?
Ang priority po yung higit na nangangailangan at doon angkop sa requirements na nilalatag ng NCMF.
Sir, may certain po taon na makaka-accommodate po kayo sa launching phase?
Sa ngayon po ay nakapag-identify ng 3,000 pero initial pa lang po yun. Ang gusto natin dahil nakikita po natin ang suporta ng mga iba't ibang organisasyon, halimbawa meron tayong mga foreign donors. Nandiyan po makikita ninyo mamaya, nakikita po nila ang pangangailangan ng suporta nila para mararamdaman yung epekto nito sa ating mga kababayang poor Filipino families.
Welcome and let us give a round of applause to the Dean of the University of the Philippines Institute of Islamic Studies, Professor Julakipli Wadi. Sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Honorable Secretary GUILING, the Secretary and CEO of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos, other officials of the commission, invited guests, foreign dignitaries, members of the Muslim communities in various parts of the country, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today is the launching of Ihsan Micro Credit program. It is a program that augurs well for the National Muslim Commission of Muslim Filipinos and the Muslim community in the Philippines. It is a program that should have been organized a long time ago, given the strategic importance of Islamic finance, including its subcomponent like microcredit. This is also not to mention that Muslims in the Philippines have been marginalized for quite a long time. Therefore, there is a need to have financial intervention on many of our Muslim brothers and sisters, not in a way to make them dependent or mendicant, but to empower them to develop upon themselves entrepreneurial skills, so that at certain point they should be able to grow with their business and investment. As such, they would play a crucial role in national development. We emphasize the imperative of microcredit because this is the way to go. There has been developments in many countries, such as Indonesia, Malaysia, Bangladesh, and others. And the Philippines is not that far. There are success stories of institutions engaged in Islamic finance related endeavor, helping Muslim families or even families across the countries to develop their business in their traditions, long traditions of entrepreneurship. Thus, when I was invited to be part of the program to welcome our guests and delegates, I thought that this is the time. And most importantly, I think the framing of this program is fitting enough as it rallies on the concept of ihsan. Interpreted in many terms like goodness or beauty and few others. This must be a driving force in the conceptualization of this project. Just as this imposes a weight, a heavy weight, a responsibility upon all of us, particularly those men and women engaged in this project. We say so because, as you know, the word ihsan is a cardinal, almost sacred concept in Islamic thought. It is one of the pillars of our deen. Apart from Tawheed or oneness, Ma'rifah or knowledge of God, and you have Ihsan. This term is attributable to the conversation between Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Jibril alaihi salam. When Jibril asked Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what is ihsan? And Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, responded, Al-ihsan an ta'budallaha ka'annaka tara, fa in lam takun tara, fa innahu yara. Ihsan or goodness is a worship of God as if you see Him, and if you do not see Him, then He sees you. This is to suggest that this concept of ihsan is the highest form of worship or the methodology of worship towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then when the NCMF rallies on this concept, it is expected that it's willing to carry that burden. Because this is not only to empower our Muslims and brothers and sisters, but it is no less done to perform our obligation, primary obligation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We purposely highlight the importance of ihsan as a new task for the National Commission of Muslim Filipinos, because, you know, for quite some time, this institution has been affected with some negative media image, and rightly or wrongly, there has been charges of many issues. And we hope that cleansing and reform has been done in the institution. Because microcredit involves essentially money. And money is hot in the hands of individuals. Therefore, it is just fitting that when we clothe this microcredit program with that notion of ihsan, then it means we are ready to move forward with this project with the end that we don't have any interest except to advance our worship towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to help our Muslim and non-Muslims with their business endeavors. And we do not need to look that far in terms of models. There are already instances, as we said, of success stories about engaging in micro-Islamic finance. I am happy to mention that we have with us the President of ASA Philippine Foundation, President Kamrul Tarafdel. He has been spearheading precisely the microfinance in the Philippines, including that component of Islamic microfinance in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao. Finally, there are also legal infrastructure that has been put in place, like the newly passed Islamic banking laws, and obviously the various laws pertinent to the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao. I thought that this will help in the framing of an effective microfinance, particularly including a microcredit program of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos. In conclusion, we just hope that this program, the microfinance credit program, should be ironclad. That is to say that a system has to be put in place that is foolproof from any possibilities of mismanagement, corruption, transparency problem, and so on. Because you know, the success of this program would mean the success of the NCMF, it would also mean, therefore, the success of the whole Muslims in the Philippines. And in fact, its failure, conversely, would also mean the failure of the NCMF and the failure of the Muslims in the Philippines. We should all help together to make this program succeed, and with the help, inshallah, of our foreign dignitaries and those who are well experienced in the pursuit of Islamic microfinance. Wa ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Once again, that was the Dean of the University of the Philippines Institute of Islamic Studies, Dean Professor Julkipli M. Wadi. Maraming salamat po. Kagalang-galang na Dean ng ating pong Universidad ng Pilipinas Institute of Islamic Studies. And of course, we would like to acknowledge the presence of the Director of the Bureau of Peace and Conflict Resolution of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos, Director Colonel Cosani Duruguman, of course accompanied by his better half, Dr. Princess Hanifa Sabdulan. Welcome po. And to continue po with our program and to give us an inspirational message, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the Chief Executive Officer and the Secretary of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos, Attorney GUILING Jean MAMONDIONG. Sir?
I am touched emotionally by the message of Dean Julkipli Wadi. Islam is a religion. We are gathered here today because we are launching the Ihsan Micro Credit. This is part of the Philippine Development Plan of the government under the leadership of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. As emphasized by Dr. Wadi, this is very innovative and inclusive in Philippine finance history. Inclusive in the sense that the audience are not just Muslims, they are also Christians. There are also Christians here. Today, the incidence of poverty in this country is about 19.8%, or 19.99 million individuals. or 3,900,000 poor families. And these are not just Muslims, but also Christians. Our religion attends not only to the needs of the Muslims, but likewise for those who are poor. And some of our non-Muslim brothers and sisters are here, coming from the Metro Manila area. Your Muslim brothers and sisters in the South mostly consist of about 13 million Muslims, and 320,000 of them are families who are poor, scattered all over the country. There is no single city or province in the country where there are no Muslims. That is my report to you, Your Excellency, Ambassador Pakistan. Yes. And many of our Western brothers who are in the government are surprised by this program. You know, in the Philippines, there are so many departments or ministries, offices and agencies, commissions, including NCMF, attending to the poverty of our people. And yet, annually, there is an increase of 5.3% of the poverty incidence in our country. We have, for example, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, giving out assistance to the tender is a man-made or natural disaster. You have also the Department of Labor and Employment. I think we have the representative from the Luli. Where are you? Yes. He is the representative of Secretary Diliman, or Secretary Labisma of the Department of Labor and Employment. Thank you very much. We are also attending to the poverty of people by creating jobs. Every day they create job opportunities for the whole sector of our society. And in the case of the farmers who are also poor, we have the Department of Agriculture. You see? And we have also the Department of Agrarian Reform, extending support services to the agrarian reform beneficiaries who are poor. Of course, you have the Department of Trade and Industry, creating entrepreneurs. And I think that is the intention of organizing this program. We need to create more entrepreneurs among Muslims and Christians in this country. By the way, your country, the Philippines, has about 115 million people, and 30 million of that are Muslims. About 30 million of that are poor, and this is the 3,900,000 families who are poor. And we are thanking you because, okay, you make this event very, very successful, this program very successful. Why? Because I must admit to you that we are dependent on foreign assistance. Why? Because the Philippines is a third world country, among the poorest countries in the world. And I am very happy this morning because yours truly is an advocate of peace also. And yesterday I was reading a newspaper about the United Nations adopting resolution urging Russia and Ukraine to settle their differences. When I was in Saudi Arabia and I visited the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, I suggested to them to form World Peace Organization. That is what the world needs, peace and poverty eradication. So last October 24, we launched the National Peace Caravan, to be followed by Barangay Assembly for Peace and Interfaith Dialogue. We have about 40,000 barangays or communities all over the country, and we plan to conduct Barangay Peace and Interfaith Dialogue. Why? Because we have so many religious denominations in this country. We have to talk to them and formulate a common program for national peace and poverty eradication. That is the intention. And this is very ambitious for a commission like us. This is very, very small. The commission is very, very small as compared to others. And we are embarking on these big projects. Why? Because we have brothers like you. If not of you, we would have not conceptualized this kind of program. With the support of Dean Wadi of the University of the Philippines, we have become strong and firm in pursuing all these kinds of programs. And the support of everyone. Down there is about 400 people wishing to join us, but the video is already full. Who does not like peace? Who does not like to eradicate poverty? In this kind of country, which is good. I must admit that with the resources of your government, of our government, we cannot address this poverty. Our target is 20 years to eradicate the poverty for people in this country. On an annual basis, we need around 2.1 billion pesos or 44 billion pesos over a period of 20 years. So that by 2045, this country is poverty free. That is our mission. To make this country poverty free in support of our president, who is very serious about addressing the poverty of our people, aside from giving peace to everybody. If you look at the vision of the Asian Development Bank, it consists of only 3 words: Asia poverty free. That is the vision. Our vision for the Philippines is Philippine poverty free by the year 2045. Not long. I hope that I will reach that. Kasi, matanda na tayo, we are already old. By the time, we are already 650 on the ground. But for the young people, we have to give them legacy of peace and development. They need us. They need us. And it is only what we can do today that the young people will reap later. They will benefit with whatever we are doing today. I must be honest to you that we need you. We have the representative of the Muslim world, former Ambassador Muhammad Amir Ali. Yes. I know that you can, when I visited them in Saudi Arabia, I proposed to them also to organize this World Poverty Eradication Program initiated by the Muslim World League. That is why I am not focusing again to the Muslim World League to work together to address the poverty of hundreds of millions of people around the world. because we are Muslims. It is we are under obligation to say whatever we can share with the poor people. I think that is what all about what Islam is all about. I learned this from Bin Wadi. That's why we look alike. Bin Wadi. He's a big man as far as I get concerned. Yes. Has been in the people many years, many decades. Yes. No one can replace him in the university. I cannot fit into his shoes. I wish to be an alumnus of Philippines like you. But I am already old. But I do not feel old. This I can assure you. Okay, so this is it. This is it. We will be launching this, realizing it today. We will start the training for entrepreneurship skills training. 15 days from now, we will start the training, and we are going to produce new entrepreneurs that is Sharia compliant. Okay? This is a normative, as I said, because it is Sharia compliant. We are not in the church interest. Microfinance is very, very successful here. It's very headed by ASA. Where is ASA? Example, yes. It's very, very successful. But we have to help you. We have to help you. Your government, the Philippine government will have to help you. Make sure that we have reached several millions of poor Filipinos this time. So, with this, I am very happy that our guests from Saudi Arabia, many of them are from Saudi Arabia, are Kuwait also. Yes, and of course from the autonomous region of possible autonomous region. Is the region from us? From the autonomous region? I think I am from the region. I am from the region. So I represent the Bangsamoro autonomous region. So we are here. All of us. Now, on the Hajj, it is a source of service against Israel. We are trying to improve. For the first time, I would like to report to you that we have formulated the first Hajj operation manual. Okay? That is the guidance that we are going to follow. For the first time, and this is registered with UP, okay? This is the UP. So, we will make sure that all the programs that we are initiating are Sharia compliant also, as suggested by the Madi. We cannot afford to fail. We have to succeed. With the assistance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we can succeed. But we will blame you if you will fail, because you did not help us. Okay? I will blame Commissioner Gadawan of NCMF. She's from Davao. If you fail, it's because you did not help us. Okay? So we are expecting the help, the assistance of everybody. Yung tulong po ninyo kailangan namin para magtagumpay tayo rito. Okay? So they are supposed to be the first beneficiaries of this program. Many of them, I am not saying that they are poor, but they deserve the program. They will be first beneficiaries of the program. Okay, so thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much. Once again, that was the Secretary and the Chief Executive Officer of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos, Secretary GUILING Jean MAMONDIONG. Sir, maraming salamat po. And now, the planning services of the National Commission of Muslim Filipinos has prepared an audiovisual presentation of the mandate of the Commission. Planning service, take it away.
Let us walk through the evolution of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos. In 1954, the Philippine Congress appointed a special committee headed by Tomoka Alonto, a prominent Muslim congressman from Lanao, tasked to investigate conspicuous economic disparities between Philippine Muslims and Christians generated by the Christian migration to the Muslim South. The special committee recommended the creation of a Commission on National Integration and approved by President Diosdado Macapagal. The 1957 Act of Congress authorized the CNI to effectuate in a more rapid and complete manner the economic, social, moral, and political advancement of the non-Christian Filipinos. One of the CNI's major achievements was to provide scholarships to a sizable number of Muslim students that allowed them to attend universities in Manila and earn professional degrees. The majority of CNI graduates who came from non-elite backgrounds gradually established themselves in their hometowns as a new professional elite. The Office of the Commissioner for Islamic Affairs was established by Executive Order Number 549, which President Ferdinand Marcos signed on July 23, 1979. OCIA provides advice and assistance to the President in the formulation, coordination, and implementation of policies affecting the Islamic affairs. Executive Order Number 697, which was issued on May 28, 1981, disbanded the Office of the Commissioner for Islamic Affairs and replaced it with the Ministry of Muslim Affairs. President Marcos declared a state policy to ensure that the integration of Muslim Filipinos into the mainstream of Filipino society. The first Madrasa Policy Conference was conducted at this time, and the Philippine Sharia Institute was established. It also oversees the translation of the Code of Muslim Personal Laws. Executive Order Number 711, issued on July 28, 1981, reclassified the name of the Ministry of Muslim Affairs to the Office of Muslim Affairs, headed by a Director General. Whereas the circumstances of the times demand a more vigorous pursuit of the constitutional mandate that the state shall consider the customs, traditions, beliefs, and interests of national cultural communities in the formulation and implementation of state policies, Executive Order 969 was signed on June 13, 1984, creating the Office of Muslim Affairs and Cultural Communities under President Marcos. Among its power and functions is to provide advice and assistance to the President in the formulation, coordination, implementation, and monitoring of policies, development programs, and projects affecting cultural communities. On January 13, 1987, President Corazon Aquino abolished the Almasisi and established the Office of Muslim Affairs under Executive Order 122-A, the Office for Northern Cultural Communities under Executive Order 122-B, and the Office for Southern Cultural Communities under Executive Order 122-C as three separate and autonomous offices. Executive Order 122-A affirmed that adequate representation of the Muslim Filipinos in the policy-making councils of the government will strengthen national unity. On February 18, 2010, Congress passed Republic Act No. 9997, which established the National Commission of Muslim Filipinos and signed by President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo into law under the Office of the President and abolished the Office of Muslim Affairs. The National Commission on Muslim Filipinos, among its powers and functions, is to provide advice and assistance to the President in the formulation, coordination, implementation, and monitoring of policies, plans, programs, and projects affecting Muslim Filipino communities. NCMF mandate is to preserve and advance Muslim Filipinos' culture, traditions, institutions, and general well-being in accordance with the country's laws, national unity, and development. NCMF has three main functions: policy making, program implementation, and coordination. The NCMF is pursuing three major programs, namely social-cultural, social-economic, and social protection under its mandate. The NCMF earned its ISO 9001-2015 certification on November 26, 2021, which covers the NCMF Central Office, NCMF South Luzon Regional Office, and NCMF Sub-Sargent Regional Office. Last November 11 and 12, 2022, NCMF passed the first surveillance audit conducted by the Bureau Veritas, the second largest global ISO certifying body, and recommended the NCMF for public service. The NCMF organizational structure. These are the following powers and functions of the Secretary. The Commission has 11 regional and 9 field offices covering the entire Philippines. The NCMF regional offices are the implementing arm of the Commission. They implement laws, rules, regulations, policies, programs, and projects of the Commission. Human resources are the most valuable asset of NCMF. In less than 1 year as Secretary MAMONDIONG instituted unprecedented reforms by putting an end to massive reassignment of personnel, which is affecting the morale, core competency, and performance of the personnel. Recruitment and promotion are transparent, competitive, and based on rules and procedures. To complement the ISO 9001-2015 certification of the NCMF and the ongoing baseline assessment of internal control system, Secretary MAMONDIONG instituted administrative reforms that will be his landmark accomplishment during his tenure. Among these are the following: completion and publication of the Hatch Operation Manual and Hatch Electronic Digitalization Process. The Hatch Operational will serve as the blueprint that would guide the NCMF, the pilgrims, sheikhs, airlines, travel agencies, and other stakeholders concerned for a systematic and orderly Hatch procedures, processes, and actual operations in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The use of digital technology will promote accountability, efficiency, transparency, and ease of doing business. Strengthen the implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of the administrative reforms. Revocation of reassignment and detailed designation orders since his assumption to office in March 2022 until his term ends to ensure that core competencies are harnessed and promote morale within the ranks. Creation of NCMF Performance Review and Evaluation Committee. Constitution of Attendance Monitoring and Investigation Committee. Policies and guidelines on government working hours, including the administrative offenses and their corresponding penalties. NCMF Grievance Committee. NCMF Program on Awards and Incentives for Service Excellence Committee. Committee on Transparency and Accountability. And the Human Resource Development Committee. Delegation of oversight functions to the commissioners. Each commissioner is tasked to oversee the efficient and effective operations of the regional offices, bureaus, and services. Ultimately, our end goal is to professionalize the NCMF personnel and be at par with other national government agencies. Allow me to present the long-term vision and priority projects of the NCMF for 2023 to 2030. Database of Muslim population. Population data is essential for planning, programming, and development purposes. Based on the Bureau of Muslim Settlement of NCMF, estimated Muslim population is around 12 million. Through this database project in coordination with the PSA, local government units, and funding institutions, the disparity of Muslim population in the country will be addressed. Muslim entrepreneur trainings. Training of Muslim entrepreneurs in every province and city in coordination with the Department of Trade and Industry, Department of Agriculture, Development Bank of the Philippines, Land Bank of the Philippines, Alamana Islamic Investment Bank of the Philippines, and Cooperative Development Authority. This project aims to empower the Muslim families, make them economically productive, skilled, and self-reliant, which ultimately contribute in addressing unemployment, poverty, and insurgency problems of the country. Islamic Microcredit for 3,000 poor family beneficiaries. Islamic microfinance, which is interest-free, can provide access to financial services for individuals and small businesses who may not have access to traditional forms of credit. This can help to alleviate poverty and promote economic growth in communities that are underserved by traditional financial institutions. Establishment of additional Sharia courts, establishment of appellate court, appointment of Sharia judges and jurisconsult. The additional Sharia courts outside of Guam will strengthen the Islamic legal system and provide more efficient and effective judicial proceedings involving Muslim Filipinos. Hajj Terminal. Hajj Hajj terminal will serve as temporary accommodation of pilgrims arriving and departing to perform Hajj in Medina and Mecca, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It will provide ease, security, and comfort to thousands of pilgrims, mostly in their senior years. This Hajj terminal can also accommodate the construction of NCMF office, which has been renting since time immemorial. This plan can be realized in the Maharlika village, Taguig City, which parcel of land was previously proclaimed by the late President Ferdinand E. Marcos and will be funded by Muslim philanthropists from foreign donors. Integration of Madaris into the Philippine educational system, registration and accreditation of Arabic schools. Integration of the Arabic Madaris education into the Philippine education system in coordination with the Department of Education and Commission on Higher Education. Madrasa education provides young Muslims with solid religious foundation and develop oneself, society, environment, and country towards achieving goodness and oneness with God. Halal agro-industrial tourism hubs. Establishing halal agro-industrial tourism hubs in Lanao del Norte, Lanao del Sur, Maguindanao, Zamboanga, Davao, Cebu, Quezon Province, and Pangasinan. This will create hundreds of thousands of jobs and means of livelihood for the jobless and marginalized Muslims and non-Muslims alike. Water district system in 300 Muslim municipalities. This project aims to improve access to clean and potable water for the Muslim communities in 300 municipalities. The NCMF will coordinate with the local government units, private sector, funding institutions, and other government agencies. Muslim Settlement Project. Manila Golden Mosque is a cultural and tourism site. Relocation of informal settler families in Manila Golden Mosque to pave the way for the reconstruction of the Manila Golden Mosque to a cultural and tourism site together with the Blue Mosque in Maharlika, Taguig. Establishment of Muslim cemetery in non-Muslim areas with significant number of Muslim Filipinos for the proper burial and honoring of the dead according to Islamic customs and traditions. It will also promote cultural diversity and respect for different religious practice. Survey and land titling of ancestral lands. NCMF will endeavor to provide legal recognition and protection for the Muslim Filipino community's ownership and rights to ancestral lands in coordination with concerned government agencies. Barangay Assembly for Peace and Interfaith Dialogue. Interfaith dialogue brings people of different religious faiths together for conversations aimed at mutual understanding and mutual solving. This activity aims to underscore the importance of peace as the key to national unity and progress. Simultaneous barangay assemblies for peace and interfaith dialogue between and among groups of various religious persuasions to promote genuine peace, unity, harmony, mutual respect, and understanding among Muslims and non-Muslims alike. In partnership with the Office of Senator Robin Hood Padilla, NCMF will take the lead in the observance of National Hijab Day in recognition of the freedom of Muslim women to wear a veil as part of their belief, to address stereotyping and discrimination, and to promote peace and unity. Human Resource Pooling Database. This project will provide a more comprehensive understanding of the human resources needs and competencies, which will provide the top management to make more informed decisions about staffing, recruitment, and human resource development. Strengthening foreign linkages. The NCMF will intensify its linkages and partnership with foreign institutions as possible resources of funds to support the implementation of its big-ticket projects. Attaining these will not be easy. The NCMF has to achieve administrative and fiscal decentralization of its 11 regional offices to efficiently and effectively implement the programs for Muslim Filipinos. RA 9997 Section 13 authorized the Commission to establish, operate, and maintain the functions of regional offices and sub-offices. To maintain its role in national peace building, one of the challenges is active participation in national planning. On that account, NCMF is doubling efforts to be included in the Regional Peace and Order Council, Regional Development Councils through the support of the Department of Interior and Local Government and the Office of the President. As we laid on the priority projects, challenges, and opportunities of the NCMF, we welcome our partners in the summit to join us and help the Commission in realizing our long-term plan, our vision for the Muslim Filipinos to build resilient Muslim communities.
Thank you very much. That audiovisual presentation is prepared by the Planning Services of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos. And we would like to acknowledge the presence of the Regional Director of the Region 12B of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos, Regional Director Lumino Glao, and of course, the Provincial Head of the Province of Lanao del Sur of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos, Director Karima Dianalan. Ma'am, welcome po. And to continue with our program, ladies and gentlemen, to discuss us and to give us a presentation of the NCMF Ihsan Micro Credit Program. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome and let us give a round of applause to the Senior Consultant of NCMF, Engineer Nazruddin Dianalan. Sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain, amma ba'd. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. I greet you all in the name of peace and the blessings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Our beloved Secretary MAMONDIONG, honored guests, distinguished officials of the National Commission for Muslim Filipinos, ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to present to you in this blissful occasion the NCMF Ihsan Micro Credit Program, or NIM for short, that is launching today. Allow me to start with bad news before the good news. 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic has brought great difficulties for many people, not just for our country, but all around our planet. In the Philippines, more than 4 million of coronavirus cases are reported, with almost 66,000 deaths. Worldwide, about 6.8 million died from 677 million persons infected with COVID. Lockdowns confined many people to their homes, losing their livelihoods and closing down many businesses. It is said that the global recession is now happening on a scale unseen since the Great Depression of the 1930s. If not for the relief assistance and other social safety nets, amelioration, or ayuda programs by the government, the state of emergency due to the COVID pandemic could have been a worse condition of calamity for the Filipino masses. The socio-economic situation is starting to improve, but lots still needs doing so that people can get back on their feet. NCMF, through the proactive and innovative leadership of Secretary MAMONDIONG, is looking for ways and means to support the economic recovery program of President Bongbong Marcos. In the case of Marawi, the only Islamic city in the Philippines, it has suffered a double whammy of disaster. Before the pandemic struck, there was the Marawi siege in 2017. More than 370,000 residents of the city were forced to abandon their homes because of the devastating firefight unseen in the Philippines since the Second World War. More than 5,000 bombs were dropped on Marawi City over a 5-month period to flush out alleged ISIS elements. While there are already Mranao vendors and other Muslim groups in many areas of the country, the Marawi siege has increased their numbers manifold. Now we find them outside public markets, along street sidewalks, on overpasses, and in underpasses, and in other busy areas hawking their wares, such as cell phone accessories, masks, socks, hats, shirts, toys, and whatever merchandise that they can eke out a little living from. More than a half-century of strife and conflict in Mindanao is also a major contributing factor to the Muslim diaspora countrywide, particularly in Metro Manila since the 1970s. Being on the Pacific fringes of the Islamic world, Filipino Muslims remain outside the radar. NCMF was created in 2009 under Republic Act 9997, as we have just seen in the video presentation. The mandate of NCMF related to NIM are Article 2, Section 8, Paragraph L, which allows the Commission to seek, receive, and administer grants, donations, and gifts for the benefit and interest of Muslim Filipinos. Article 2, Section 11, Paragraph A, authorizes NCMF to pursue livelihood programs and projects through the extension of loans, entrepreneurship, trade, and marketing assistance to Muslim Filipinos. The NCMF Ihsan Micro Credit program, although Islamic in form and substance, is not just for Muslims. Eventually, the program addresses marginalized Filipinos rise up from the cellar of poverty, especially disregarded street vendors. From the shadows of the informal economy, NCMF shall also assist their transition to the mainstream. With the able and active initiatives of Secretary MAMONDIONG, NIM shall make a roaring success and lasting legacy in the lives of the common people and their families, inshallah. Okay, the NCMF Ihsan Micro Credit program is a small branch of Islamic finance. Islamic finance in general is not just to create wealth, but for benevolence and justice. That is, to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. Unless prohibited, economic transactions are mostly acceptable except for riba, as interest is known to grow faster than wealth, and that debt burden destroys the economy. Particular verses in the Quran prohibiting riba are Rom 39, Al-Nisa 161, Al-Imran 130, and several ayahs in Al-Baqarah. Garar is usually translated as uncertainty or ambiguity, and thereby rules out derivatives, options, and futures. This involves excessive risk and may foster uncertainty and fraudulent behavior, such as found in derivative instruments used by conventional banking. The universal range of Islamic finance are mudaraba, profit sharing, wadiya, safekeeping, musharaka, joint venture, murabaha, cost plus financing, ijar, leasing, hawala, fund transfer system, takapul, Islamic insurance, and sukuk, Islamic bonds. If you have some questions about Islamic finance or banking, please consult those really knowledgeable about the topic. There are experts in the field, and a few of them are present in this important occasion. We also have some ulama and our NCMF advisors who can give their opinion as to how NIM is halal. In fact, what is now popularly known as ethical investments among banking circles has been advocated in the Noble Quran and the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, thousands of years ago. NIP proceeds according to the reverse murabaha or tawaruk method. Agreements with suppliers shall be made for provisions of goods for sale needed by beneficiaries. Accordingly, a beneficiary receives his or her stocks for sale to cash-paying customers and makes provision for in weekly installments. How will NIP be implemented? Capable personnel are recruited from within NCMF and other qualified manpower pool. Pilot NIP centers are being established in identified communities with the proper targeting of beneficiaries. Beneficiary groups shall be organized and trained on NIP systems and procedures, especially on credit discipline. NIP is patterned after the Grameen method but localized with the Filipino practice of paluwagan, in which microcredit revolves among the group members. The NIP Center Chief is not only a community organizer, but also a trainer and takes charge of the evaluation and credit investigation of loan proposals, monitor loan use, and responsible for the collection of weekly installments. During this early stage, the Center Chief shall report directly to the Secretary on the performance of his community, and with the group chairpersons, he administers member beneficiaries. The Secretary of NCMF is assisted by the Project Management Office and the accounting staff for the program. The Center Chief supervises the group chairpersons, who in turn attend to their members. With the bookkeeper, secretary, and the credit investigator, collector, he ensures meeting the NIP objectives in his area of responsibility. The NIP Center aims primarily to empower members and improve their livelihood for a better future for them and their children. Discipline, responsibility, and accountability are among the important values that they are trained and motivated on. With their close involvement and feedback, the center also looks for new opportunities and works to increase the skills and efficiency of members. It tries to foster harmony in the community and mediates social problems and misunderstandings. The center provides the mechanism for sufficient control of group meetings. This is the flow chart of the NIP Center operation. Starting with the group identification and formation, members are screened and qualified. After organization and training, the group meets regularly every week to discuss business and community issues. Loan proposals are received at the meeting, after which they go through the proper evaluation and credit investigation. If approved, the loan shall be verified and monitored according to usage for income-generating activity. Loan disbursements as well as installment payments are done during group meetings, in which proposals that have not been approved will also be discussed. Important elements to NIP operations are the right targeting and the organization of quality groups, ingraining credit discipline among members, and their collective responsibility for the common good of the group. Due diligence in the verification and investigation of a loan proposal and the collection of credit installment. monitoring and audit of loan proceeds, especially delinquency management. Conduct of regular weekly meetings and continuous communications with group chairpersons and members. Close controls of the group organization and its operation. And a doable strategy for growing the Ihsan Microcredit program. What are the success factors for the program to succeed? The following are essential factors: effective management and efficient organization of need centers, strong peer support among members, as well as group peer pressure. Almost 100% of loans to beneficiaries going to generating more income. Practically 100% repayment and 100% attendance of members in weekly group meetings. Regular training and team building, especially motivating members for their own welfare and group obligations. Consciousness among members of multiple savings and growth opportunities. And for the center to create better than market microcredit products and innovative ideas for growing NIM. The most important prerequisite to the success of NIM, of course, is the wholehearted commitment and generous support of donors and benefactors that can propel to great heights the coverage and reach of NIM. I hope that everybody got a clear idea of the NCMF Ihsan Micro Credit program as to its intents, purposes, and implementation. For any question, you can inquire with the advisors and the NIM team headed by PMO Chief Miss Aliyah Marabot. Please join me in giving a big hand of applause to our Secretary MAMONDIONG, the commissioners and officials of the National Commission for Muslim Filipinos for this gallant endeavor. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you all. And again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much. Once again, that was Engineer Nasruddin Dianalan. And siguro many of you is wondering kung bakit sino po si Engineer Rudy and why he was the one who explained po the presentation of the micro credit or our Ihsan Micro Credit. Mr. Rudy Dianalan is a graduate of King Fahad University of Petroleum and Minerals with a course of BS System Engineering, and thereafter finished his Master's in a National Security Administration. He first worked in a Malaysian Chamber of Commerce, an industry of the Philippines, and also worked as e-commerce tech summit. Ayan po, that was once again Engineer Nasruddin Dianalan, the senior consultant of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos. And now, syempre alam ko marami tayong katanungan. A lot of us has many questions kung ano nga ba ang but before we proceed with our open forum, we will be hearing a message of support from one of our dignitaries and of course guests and one of our biggest supporters. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome representing Rabita. Please help me welcome and let us give a round of applause to Ambassador Abdul Rahman Al-Khayar, sir.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم أجمعين. معالي الأمين العام للمفوضية الوطنية لشؤون المسلمين، أصحاب السعادة، الإخوة الحضور، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بداية أنقل لكم تحيات معالي الشيخ محمد بن عبد الكريم العيسى الأمين العام لرابطة العالم الإسلامي ورئيس هيئة علماء المسلمين، تمنياته القلبية من نجاح هذا البرنامج وتحقيق الأهداف المرجوة منه.
In the name of God, the merciful, the gracious, the most merciful, praise be to God, Lord of the world. And may prayers and peace be upon our prophet and beloved Muhammad and upon his family and companions, and peace be upon them. His Excellency, the Secretary General of the National Commission for Philippine Muslim Filipinos, we call it Secretary here, Excellencies and brothers who are present now, may the peace, blessings, and mercy of God upon you.
ويسعدني بين حضرتكم عن سعادتي بحضور حفل إطلاق برنامج القرض الحسن أو الائتمان الصغير وفق الشريعة الإسلامية التي تستهدف 30,000 مستفيد من الأسر الفقيرة من أصحاب التجارة الصغيرة خلال مدة البرنامج ومدتها 10 سنوات.
First of all, I convey to you the greetings of His Excellency Sheikh Dr. Muhammad bin Abdul Karim Al-Isa, the Secretary General of the Muslim World League and Chairman of the Association of Muslim Scholars, and his heartfelt wishes for the success of this program and the achievement of its desired goals.
ونسأل الله أن يوفقهم في تحقيق هذا البرنامج الإنساني والاجتماعي بما يعود بالنفع والفائدة للإنسان أو للمجتمع الفلبيني بشكل عام ولهذه الفئة المستهدفة بشكل خاص، مما سيساعد في تحسين دخلها ومستوى معيشتها.
I am pleased to express to you my pleasure in attending the launching ceremony of the program, a good a loan or a small credit according to Islamic law, which target 30,000 beneficiaries from poor family who own small businesses during the 10 years program period.
بشكل عام لا أحب أن أطيل عليكم، ولكن أتمنى من الله سبحانه وتعالى لكم التوفيق، وأشكر المفوضية الوطنية لدعوة رابطة العالم الإسلامي لحضور هذا افتتاح انطلاق هذا البرنامج، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
We ask God to grant you success in implementing this humanitarian and social program for the benefits of the human being and the Filipino society in general, and for the target group in particular, which will help improve their income and standard of living. Finally, I thank the National Commission for Muslim Filipinos. We express the gratitude and thanks of the Muslim world to this gathering and the officials of the NCMF. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Once again, that was the representative of Rabita, Ambassador Abdurrahman Al-Khayat. Thank you very much, sir, for that message. And now, as I said earlier, alam ko, a lot of us has a lot of questions. Marami tayong katanungan kung paano nga ma-implement ito ng maayos. At meron tayong pong 25 minuto, tama? For open forum. Para mabigyan na po natin ng chance ang ating pong mga kasamahan na makapagtanong ng maayos kung meron kayong mga katanungan. At meron po tayong microphone na wireless na ikakalat or sorry, ipapasa-pasa. Sino pong pwedeng mag-assist sa atin pong ang ating pong microphone ay nandito. And para po formal na mabuksan po natin ang ating forum or open forum, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the moderator and a reflection of intended beneficiaries. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Miss Baybon Sangi. Ma'am?
Thank you very much, Sakir. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I will be receiving your question, especially to our Christian attendees or would-be beneficiaries. We also have indigenous peoples in this audience, so we welcome everyone. May magtanong po ba? May katanungan? Sige po.
Assalamualaikum. I am Sarah Jihad of Budalwan, Tribe People Foundations, Christian, Muslim, and Katutungo. Ang tanong ko po ay ganito. Is it a group or by individual? Yun na po.
Okay. Kanina po, ang dinidiscuss natin talaga, groups. No? So, you have to join a group, tapos magkaroon ng group training, saka pa lang po, hindi po tayo mag-ano ng by individual. Grupo po. Mag-organize kayo ng grupo nyo.
Maraming salamat po. Sige po. Pakisabi ko yung pangalan. We will jot down your question para isama natin sa mga discussion namin. Sige po. Magkakaroon po kayo? Sige po. Sandali lang po.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Commissioner Alia Magadawa po, from NCMF. Ang tanong ko po ay, I have different organized women in the Southern Philippines, Southern Mindanao. At meron na po silang konting na-receive from the local government. Ang tanong ko po, pwede po ba sila as a beneficiary of this microcredit program?
Opo, so long as naka-organize na po sila, mas maganda yun. Kasi madali natin mapatakbo kung organized na at saka other government programs, no? Basta po sila nakaka-avail ng ibang benefits, hindi pa naman sinasabi natin na hindi na pwede sa atin, no? Maliban lang doon yung may mga utang na or kasama po yun sa due diligence natin ng credit investigation. Kailangan titingnan natin kung sila naka-loan na ba sa iba, tapos maganda naman yung record nila, mas madali po silang makahiram.
Registered na po sila ng CDA.
Alright. Do we have gentlemen to ask question? Puro babae yung mga nagtatanong. Alam mo, mahalaga kasi ang equality sa atin. Ayan, equality and inclusivity. We would like to hear from the gentlemen. Ano po yung mga natin? Sige po. Sige po. State your name.
أعوذ بالله وبنستعين الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله عليه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته واذكر الله كثيرا. May kunting katanungan lang sapagkat siguro ang in terms of business o livelihood ay may dalawang function tayo, including yung mga dating OFW and also the present business.
Or carpenter,
or water or anything, then you have to make a good data. Data is the success of your business. Number one is the data. Number two is the good planning. People here, they don't go for planning. No, they want to just to get how much they will get. No. Please have a planning, and the planning, and when you finish planning, you do another planning. So 99% of the Japanese success is because they have a good planning. If you have 1 hour of the workshop, 70% of that 1 hour is for planning. You have to plan, what are you going to do? If you finish and you get fed up, make another planning and planning and planning. And that's why if you hear the word TQM, Total Quality Management, which is developed by Toyota and Lexus in Japan. Why? Because they are repeating and repeating and planning and planning. So if you have 75% of your time, of 1 hour, to make a planning, it will be very easy for number 3, which is the execution. So when you start your business, you have no problem, you have a good data, and you have the good planning, what to do. And I don't have to tell you, you know what you have to do for the data collection and also the planning and the execution. Number 4, which is very important, is the follow-up and the evaluation. We don't follow up